bitter rivals going back to their AFL days in the 1960s. The Chiefs and Raiders are underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, Charles, for the Oakland Raiders, it's probably not the first 5 weeks that they envisioned under John Gruden here. 1-4. Last week, the loss to the Chargers. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority one.
Here's Darkwa. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing his car on third down. And the pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
12 yards on the return that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep it.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
That just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Hunt. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play call, and you go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's playing like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. This will be caught inside the 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt. He's going to get it running right. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. This is caught. Watkins. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing now is Carr. Finds an opening past the 40. And Nelson's got it here right side.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Carr down to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. DeAndre Washington, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate. With oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now Hunt. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
This is caught, and he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 30 yards, and the Chiefs are in for 6.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
The extra point up and good, and the lead is now 10-7. Butker now to kick this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Hunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. And the kick by Butker is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
On the run, Darkwan. And he'll power his way up near the 25. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. On 2nd down, Washington. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now Darkwan. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll run with Darkwan. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. From midfield, here's Mahomes. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. So out come the Raiders. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Back near his goal line. Here's Carr. And incomplete on the deep ball.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. There he goes, Amari Cooper. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big play there. Carr to Cooper, 64 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
On second down, here's Carr. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down. When you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Here comes the Chiefs' offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the 1st half.
Let's see if they do just that.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a 2nd half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And that pick just sets them up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Lucky. You know that's one that he would love to have back. That should have been picked off. Threw that one into a crowd. He's just so fortunate the defender couldn't react.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Stepping up, he's going to... And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, his second touchdown of the night. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, right now we are 5 weeks into the NFL season. Charles, switching gears here. 2 undefeated teams, the Rams and the Chiefs, both at 5-0.
And who's going to end up being the first to lose? That becomes the game now, doesn't it? Because I know the 1972 Miami Dolphins team is waiting for both of them to lose so they can pop their champagne. But who's it going to be? The Chiefs' upcoming schedule? They're at New England, home against Cincinnati, home against Denver. How about for the Rams? 3 of their next 4 on the road. At Denver, at San Francisco, home against the Packers, at the New Orleans Saints. Care to make a prediction?
Well, I obviously Chiefs at the Patriots, that could be one. But the Rams, 3 of the next 4 on the road. I'm going to say, though, the Chiefs drop 1 in New England. How about you?
I'm going to say that they're actually going to drop it at home against Cincinnati. That's my big upset. I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Carr to throw on second down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 36. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And Carr seems to be in some pain. He's still down. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. They go play action here on first down. And he fires one incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And now it's second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And a short gain here down to the 22. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
Here we go now.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll set up to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on E. Back now in the East Bay. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. On the run, this is Hunt. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They run with Hunt, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Switzer now to return. Now a hit and a loose football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he heard all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Mahomes to throw on second down. Sliding out of the pocket. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And it's caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control. The point after is good. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, a nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Chris Jones on the stop. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 18. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Raiders have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll set up a throw, and he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he is going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Well, so it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point try, good by Gano. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's got room. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. You're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
Leopard. Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And an alley to run. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Oakland.